Hey, Rith. How you doing? It's 1:20 where you are. He's usually up. Hey, Steph. Hi, Kate. You're sleepy. Great. Wait 1 second. And up. Perm up. Who else? I'm alright. I'm fine. Okay. So I'm recording this. I haven't actually recorded a show in over a year on BlogTV. Hang on, I'm getting messages here. It's Emily. Hey Al, you are fast. You just left here. Jumping on me? Who's jumping on me? No one? Yeah, right. I'm gonna show them the door. It's okay. It's alright. Oh, hi Mike. Welcome. Hey Shelly. Hopefully it'll stay that way. You see my channel today? Alright. Basically, I'm sorry that Richard isn't here. I guess he just went to sleep. But he already apologized for putting up that video, which confused me because we had already discussed basically everything. I don't understand. The channel was disgusting. Don't worry about it. You know, people love a hate fest when they, you know, they jump on that whenever they get a chance. You thought you got a that's all the film's crap. Hey, it's just my turn. No big deal. Hey Glenn. So yeah, trolls will be trolls. I'm not concerned about that. Yes, Kate, I know. I saw that. You still love all three of us. Well, we love you too. Yeah. I was very confused. Richard put up that video. In the back of my mind, I thought he might, because that's what he does. When he's under stress, he makes videos. And sometimes it's ill-advised. He's done that before. We are all aware of the crying video, which I remember I was horrified when he put it up, and I just completely begged him to take it down. It was too late, of course, by then. At any rate, because I had already told him everything at that point, and he's distraught. He was distraught. I don't blame him for being in shock and for getting things wrong in the video, for making it look like I cheated on him, because that's not what happened. In fact, you had already told him that you and Dev were going to be together. Yeah. Well, by today, yes. We had already broken up. I mean, at that point, it was just a done deal. But I think he kind of got the wrong idea when he asked me today how long this had been going on between me and Rob, and I thought he meant how long have we been aware of each other's feelings for each other. You know, because we lived together. I've lived here for almost 2 months now, and I moved in that mid-September. Okay, it was a month and a half. I've lived here since my father kicked me out, and we were friends. We were just friends. It wasn't anything else like that. In fact, we barely knew each other. I knew some of his family. That's why I felt comfortable coming to stay here. But I consider myself very lucky. Yeah, Mike. Well, I didn't... moved is not exactly the right word. Evicted would be a better word. Or not even evicted. I was kicked out. My father went nuts. He kicked me out. Yeah, got kicked out. And Devchelle, Rob, was kind enough to let me stay here. You know? And that was that. So you fell in love in a month. You got a problem with that? Do we need more time? Is Dev still gay? Well, he was never really gay. He's bisexual. I mean, he used to be married to a woman. He's got 2 kids. Yeah, I'm still in North Jersey. So, but yeah, I don't know exactly how it happened. It just happened. We fell in love. He kept it from me, and I kept it from him. He actually kept it from me longer. But that's just kind of what happens when you're around people. It kind of is when you're about to marry someone else. GBN Playmaker, I just got started. Alright? Don't start making comments until I get to that. Alright? Is this the guy? No! No, Mr. Burton, 79. That was somebody I knew a long time ago. Where was I? Oh, yes. Here's the thing. Rob, Devchelle, was never going to tell me, and I was never going to say anything either. But he was never going to tell me because of Richard. We went to the DC YouTube gathering 2 weekends ago. He got very drunk, and then he made his feelings known to me, and that's how it happened. So, oops. Yeah, Tommy. I know, Steph. I know. Did you... He was not surprised? Well, you were there. You were there. You saw how it all went down. How some of it went down. You recorded a lot of it. I know. Yeah, alcohol does make your mouth run. And suffice it to say, I was shocked. Love takes longer than a month, but that's just me. You're right. That is just you. Yeah, I was shocked because, like everyone else, I thought he preferred men, and he said it. He said it. So, what do? You find that you've fallen for someone else while you're technically with somebody else. So, on to the engagement. Back to early September, or excuse me, mid-September. Love does take way longer than a month. Yeah, sure does. And it's been longer than a month, by the way. Love. Relationship, no. Love. Longer than a month. Going back to mid-September, as I said, my father kicked me out. He didn't just kick me out, but he disowned me. He turned his back on me. And to understand, he had invited me home after 10 years of me living on my own in Oklahoma. And, you know, the recession hit. I was a contractor. The contracts dried up. I was getting sick of it. He invited me back. Not even a year later, he throws me out because of Richard, believe it or not. And I was in despair. I mean, my father is the only person I ever really considered to be family, and I lost my family. I was I was lost. I didn't know what to do. So my dad can be an ass, no offense. None taken, Dixie. I'm sorry, I'm losing my place here. GBN Playmaker, seriously, shut up. Because you're getting ahead of me. Don't read the chat, just talk. Well, that's kind of rude, Mike. So, I'm sorry about that, Tommy. Really, I'm sorry. I'm just asking a question. Well, I'm not there yet, okay? Now, at the time that my father threw me out, Richard was here visiting. He was towards the end of his visit, and we had been spending almost the entire time together. There was a 5-week-day period in which he was at Rith Physical Conservatives house in DC, and then he came back to New Jersey to hang out with me. So So yeah, I was absolutely in despair. I didn't know what to do. You know, this was my only family who was disowning me again. And I didn't know what to think. What was I, what was I going to do? Who did I have now? You know, so for the first few days, I just stayed in Richard's hotel room, went to work, came back, and cried. What was I going to do? And around this time, in fact, I remember exactly the day. It was September 14th because that was my sister's birthday. Devchelle, Rob, drove down to where Richard was staying in the hotel while I was at work to visit. He brought his son, he brought his friend. And they hung out for the day. And as they were hanging out, Richard asked Devchelle, Rob, if I could come stay with him. And he said yes. So that was that. Richard leaves, he goes back to England, and I'm still miserable. I still don't know what to do. Sorry, that was my email. I'm still miserable. I still don't know what to do. I didn't know what I could possibly go with my life. Yeah, I have a place to stay, but I'm living off someone's hospitality, and I don't want to wear out my welcome. And then what? Am I going to go broke trying to rent an apartment in frickin' New Jersey, which is part of the New York area, which, by the way, is very, very expensive. I have a job. It's a very good job, but it doesn't pay me enough to deal with that. Was I going to have to eventually move in with a stranger, to get a roommate? These things were running through my mind. I didn't know how to deal with it because it was just all happening so fast. No, Mr. Burton, 79. I'm fine, really. I'm fine now. What else? So, all I knew is that the only person I thought I had left had just left to go back home. And I felt alone. I wanted somebody to... I just didn't think I should be alone. I was just in a state of mind where I needed somebody to talk to. I needed somebody to be there with me, and I felt alone. I don't really have a lot of friends, so all I could think about was I have to go to England. I have to go and be with the one person who cares. And after looking at all of the available visas, the tier visas, I realized quickly that I don't qualify for almost any of them. Not even the work visas, which is crazy. But I didn't pass their little quiz on their... What about France? I'm talking about where Richard lives. He lives in Kent, England, the UK. Excuse me. So yeah, I don't qualify for the tier work visas. I'm not a student, so I can't go on that kind of visa. I'm not a family member. Basically, the only thing that I could possibly qualify for was a partner visa. And so I said, okay, Richard. And I did not propose over Twitter. That part was staged. I asked him over Skype several days earlier. I said, would you consider marrying me to get me in the country? Those were my exact words. This was never supposed to be some kind of whirlwind romance or anything like that. This was basically marriage for a visa, and I was willing to do it because I was that desperate. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you. And thank you, Christine. You're lovely. Well, Kiki, I don't think you've been listening. Alright? So pay attention one more time. I had lost my only family. I was basically in grieving. I had no one else. And I wasn't thinking clearly because of that. Alright? So it was never really about love. Well, I'm sweet, no offense, but hang on, I gotta close some tabs. No offense, but